Today is a special day.
Happy birthday, Jordan!
It is my birthday, and it's a Tuesday. We are taking a half day off to go here to Fort Lee, New Jersey, and just enjoying a couple of hours of quiet time together. It has been a very interesting past couple of weeks. We are currently 9 days into the sprint, a 3 month sprint. Yep, a 3 month sprint to 125,000 over 3 months. And part of that journey is exercising frequently, no alcohol, no heavy desserts, except some whipped cream on some frappuccino. But
It's a birthday drink.
it's a birthday drink.
What are you thinking about number two?
I mean, and today, until 2 o'clock, we were working on proposals, doing client work, and I was just thinking about how lucky I feel that we can be working on something that we're passionate about and doing our own business and have a chance to do it together.
Yeah.
I am, I would say, at looking back on the past X number of years, on my birthday today, I am happier than I have ever been with my family, with personally on the career path that we're on. Wait, I'm on, if it's talking about personally. But we can say the career path that we are on, and just never been happier. And it kind of feels a little bit awkward to say that during an economic crisis and a health crisis.
Yeah.
But it's true. I have never been, it feels like I've never been happier, healthier, physically, mentally. And I think it's come through, one, us being together and doing something that we love together, and two, doing work personally that I really enjoy and find fulfillment out of, and three, I feel that physically just in good condition, and overall exercise is good, diet is good. Haven't really noticed a difference on not drinking for 9 days, not having ice creams for 9 days, but I'm not really concerned about that. I'm just more focused on process, and I think the discipline of executing on that and following that process, creates more positive feelings because of that discipline, and that bleeds over, not bleeds over, that flows over to other parts of life. What are some of your thoughts going on?
Well, this is also the 10th year that we know each other.
Oh yeah. August 2010, met in New York here and through Match.com. And Jane, how would you compare who I am today versus who I was 10 years ago?
You have longer hair.
How would you compare how we are
I think,
now versus how we were, call it, 5 to 10 years ago?
well, our bond is definitely much stronger. We know each other much better. And it's in a more comfortable way. Compatible way. And I think it's not easy for a couple to become partners in business, partners in crime. But I think it feels natural to do that for us. So far it's good, and it's important for us to be open with each other, and I think we are.
Yeah,
So,
I think
right?
that there have been times, like in the past, couple of weeks, when maybe I did something and you address it right then, and
Yeah.
you say how it made you feel, and then I just fix it, and we just have
I
very
don't
open
remember what that
communications.
is. Oh, yeah.
No, I think there was a time on a call when I
Yeah.
subtly dismissed what you were saying, or made it seem
You were
not as important.
mansplaining things.
I was mansplaining things. Yeah, and it was important. There is that dynamic where we have to maintain us as a couple and also us as business partners.
Yeah.
But I think that we did well by addressing it immediately.
Yeah, I think at the end of one call, Nicole said, "You guys are really good at this," and that is just a confirmation of how good our dynamics, energy, chemical are, chemistry.
When I look back,
in business, so I think it's good, and now I'm getting more, trying to get more into your brain and helping with the sales, and so it takes time to perfect, but I think it's working pretty well so far.
I have 100% confidence in the path that we're going down.
Yeah.
And as partners, as a business, it's like not even affecting me at all of the emotions of a pandemic, the emotions of an economic crisis, just because I believe so much in what we're doing, and it's
Yeah, but I mean, in the first month, it was really.
but I don't think in March, April, May, although it was difficult for the family, I didn't experience the same emotions that I did in the first couple of years of Debt Maven in 2016
Yeah.
and 2017 when
Yeah.
we were just having and then had Ella,
Yeah.
and was completely unfamiliar with how to deal with the
That's what I was
lack
gonna
of
say.
structure in entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
and also unfamiliar with how to deal with my own emotions up and down. And then now, 4 years later, and 2 kids later, and 2 businesses, a nonprofit later, although we experience the same ups and downs, I feel like I can be a little bit more objective about the experience
Yeah.
and kind of see the emotions that are happening.
Yeah, I think that is part of the learning process of being an entrepreneur. Like this traits can be learned and exercised over and over, where you feel like you can get a grip of your own emotion, and once you learn it, no matter what you face, no matter what kind of hardship, you can throw a pandemic at me, you can throw whatever.
You develop
at
the
me.
skill of resiliency,
Right.
the muscle of resiliency, the muscle of persistence.
But you will, because we definitely pivoted a little bit with the business.
I actually don't think we've pivoted. I think that we've expanded. I think pivoted means that we've gone in a different direction.
Oh, it's not different direction, but we adjusted. We adjusted the way for us to offer in the scope of work, because we still cannot, in a large part, travel and do brand videos. But we are still proposing that because we think creatively how we can accomplish that.
And another
Right,
good example
so-
of how this whole crisis has been turned into an opportunity is that we now offer event management services online with Zoom, and organizing a 50-person event with 5 breakout rooms. There's actually a lot that goes into running that as an effective service.
Different
Even
skill set.
minor details, like you can only do polls in a main room, but you can't do polls in a breakout room. Or let's say that attendees in room 1 want to go to room 3. They can't do that on certain platforms. And all these little details now are very important to people running virtual events, whether it's with a private equity firm's annual meeting, a conference, or a webinar, and having breakout sessions. I don't know if we would have found that opportunity as fast or developed into that if it wasn't for this crisis.
Well, it also wasn't as much a need before, I guess. People were still traveling for big conferences, and now they're just staying put. But then business has to go on, AGM has to go on, so what are you going to do? You just figure out a way to do it online.
It was so difficult for the business in March, April, May,
just keep thinking about that stuff. The L things.
June, July, I don't know. But this crisis actually could not have been a better.
Well,
Could not have
kind
been
of
better for
kick
our
us in
business.
the. I think it kick us in the rear too.
Why?
Because we need to step up our game. We can't just, I think we need to. Because of this, we stepped up our game.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I'm more saying that this
Oh, it
crisis
gave us
couldn't
the
have been
opportunity.
better for a digital marketing business
Of course.
because the industry, basically over the past
They couldn't
5
understand.
months, they
Well,
finally realized
they
that
didn't understand as
we have
much.
to market and do BD in different ways. If,
Well,
if you
yeah.
can't, if you're trying to raise a $500 million fund, LPs need to do diligence on you, and a great way for people to do that is to help get to know you through video. And that's not obviously going to close a fund or even near completing all diligence, but it really helps to accelerate the process. We didn't think about that as much until we went through this crisis.
Or people needed a lot more education to realize how important this is. But now they just pretty much get it. It's just a matter of what to do now, rather than do we do it or not.
Where do you hope the business is going to be in a year? Overall businesses.
Well, to start with, I would like us to get out of the role of working in the business, but working on the business. Is that how you say it? It's that
I
we
agree.
get
I
out,
think that
we kind of we oversee the business, we oversee the operations, but we would have ideally a team a team or 2 or 3 to work on different clients.
from a
Ideally-
team perspective, I'd love to have 2 to 4 solid account executives who are able to execute
yeah,
all across a project on different work streams
we're getting there.
and able to manage multiple projects so that we can truly turn over to them with the full quality that
Yeah.
we expect out of
And I can retire.
our I don't even want to, because I love what I
I
do.
don't.
But where there's this balance of we can't do every single part of every single project because
No.
then we're just
And that also prevents you
Freelancers.
from really thinking about how to do the business, because we're
Yeah.
just serving clients right now. We don't really have time to think of the corporate marketing side.
can't work on
how
the
to-
business.
Yeah.
We're so much of our
goals.
day-to-day is playing whack-a-mole as opposed to being able to think a little bit more, having that space to think strategically
Yeah.
and to work on the business, such as sales. Like for me, I love doing sales, and that's what I'm best at.
Yeah. That
Um,
would be
but-
the ultimate goal.
But I
for you to
equally
just
love
be-
doing the brand videos and thinking through the scripts and really understanding
Yeah.
the dynamics of individuals, the team, that brand, and thinking how to pitch that uniquely. And actually, that kind of reminds me of the things I've really enjoyed working on, is the just
creative side.
the
that
creative
too, for me.
side to operate at the highest level of creativity, professionalism, structure,
Yeah.
understanding all the details that goes into a process, pre-production, production, post-production, all the details, like make sure people wear a shirt that doesn't have a logo, or if they have
Oh, the
makeup or whatever that is,
hairstyle.
just like that's running it like a Hollywood movie production. That level of granularity and planning is just a really cool skill set to learn how to develop. So for where I think the business is, a year from now, I would like in August of 2021 to be doing 100,000 a month on 51 Labs. I'd like investors and operators, the media company, to be doing one, 20 a month,
Okay.
because with sponsorship and then the
It's easy.
membership
If
community,
you really build up the sponsorship, but it's a long way to go.
to be doing 20 a month of August of next year. And then, I mean, just look at the webinar that we just had, like made $2,500 off of that sponsorship. And that was like last minute. So,
We do much better.
yeah, but I mean, selling like a full media
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll look at the source media, right? The package that they offer is just brilliant.
So 100 a month for 51 Labs, the marketing business, and then 20 a month for the media business, and then with Debt Maven, maybe having that back up and doing, maybe every quarter, call it 25 to 50, and then be able to build that business back up. I'd love for our businesses doing at least 100 a month by a year from now.
Yeah. Well, if it's to 100, what, like on average, you just have 4 or 5 clients.
And that actually reminds me of another thing. I'd like to. No, it doesn't remind me of anything.
But isn't it right? It's just 4 to 5 clients. It should be.
We should have
It should,
2 to 3 clients per account executive.
well, then that probably give us more than 100 each month.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about 2 to 5, 2 to 4, so they 4. That's a lot more than 100.
And so also I think in terms of the industries that we're serving, legitimately going into venture capital,
Yeah.
because we've done a couple of projects that are one-offs, a couple videos or something very limited in scope, but actually going off
I think
and
they
doing.
are. I think they are pretty happy with us. So hopefully we will be able to expand to that market with the similarity, but also a lot of difference. So it's a new thing to learn.
It's cool to see that we're being pulled into services and pulled into markets,
Yeah.
as
And
opposed to just kind of
also
forcing our way.
placement agency.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, truly, we're now
and
have
also
a,
like international PE rather than just US PE. So it's good.
like legitimately doing international projects now.
Yeah.
And that's